Well, folks, just it's not really an update, it's just a little video that I've been wanting to do about sort of optimizing or making sure you use all your space on a small allotment all year round, really. So as my followers know, my subscribers, I have a raised bed allotment. Now they are sort of small raised beds, approximately 6 foot by 5 foot each one. So like I say, so sort of mini update, but also what I'm doing to make sure I use my allotment all year round as much as possible. So I've tidied back all my strawberries. Like I say, I am going to take out this thornless blackberry, because this variety, although it's fruiting now, it's really sour, it's awful. So I'm going to take that out and try and get a different variety. So my little coffin beds that are down here have got strawberries in, and my little apple tree. Now I've picked all the apples. I mean, that there is the leader that it's grown this year, so I'm going to top that over the winter and tie in a few more branches. My manure, this is my manure bin. It's been in there, I think probably this top stuff about 8 months. I mean, it is absolutely jam-packed with worms. So I've started to dig this out and use this. Excuse me. So a fruit bed number 1, where my summer raspberries are in, they've all been tidied up and top dressed with some manure. So these are my main veg beds, if you like. So get in what you can over winter. I was a little bit late getting these leeks in, but they're absolutely fine. They're not going to be massive leeks, but you know, I've got 2 beds of leeks and there'll be enough for me. I've got spring cabbage in there. I'm still covering because we've still got cabbage white butterflies about. So spring cabbage in there. As you saw in my last video, I've top dressed with some used compost. Now my John Jay raspberries this side doing fine, and it's giving me some raspberries. Give me quite a few, to be honest, really, and they're massive. They really are. I mean, I've got big hands, but they're huge, and they're not overly tasty. They're not, you know, they're not massively sweet, but they're nice. This side just seems to be ticking over. It is giving me a little bit of fruit, but I'm going to leave it. My gooseberry bush, I've still got to play with that one. So my fruit bushes are sorted. My tayberries. So them 3 are permanent beds, and so are my rhubarb and my gooseberry. So my parsnips, I have actually pulled a couple of parsnips, and what I did was I chopped them up and I put them in the freezer overnight just to give them that frost, that cold, and it works fine. The tasty as. So this is purple curly kale. I'll just pull this back. Purple curly kale and purple sprout and broccoli. I don't seem to be able to do very well with purple sprout and broccoli, but this year I've set my boat out. I've put the frames up, and I wanted the beds to have some, you know, something in them, because if I have an empty bed, I usually put manure and hops and all that lot and top dress it. But I just thought, now that I've got the compost, which I'll go to in a minute, I might as well top dress them and then get on with filling them up. So parsnips doing well, my brassicas. Now my little baby polytunnel. So this is pak choy and radish, and this is the Morrison's £1 salad. Honestly, it's a tub you get from Morrison's, and it costs £1, and it's live salad. Okay, there's not a massive variety, but I just soaked the root bottle for an hour in water and literally pulled them apart and stuck them in. And with this little polytunnel, I can extend. It won't go all through the winter, obviously. And when they all die off, then I'll top dress this bed. But it's just using your small raised beds using your small allotment as much as you can all year round. This is just another top that it's my carrot top, so I've just got all year round collies in there. There's 3 there. I've got covered up slightly different just because I haven't got. I'm going to make some frames for this. So my 6 main beds are all full over the winter. They've been full all the year round. My carrot bed is dug out. Sorry, there's a few parsnip dribbles in there. My carrot bed's cleared out now. So the potato bed. Now I've decided I'm going to split this bed in half like all of those. So I'll have 8 permanent beds that size, because I grow too many spuds. I just grow miles too many spuds. My spuds are under here. Sorry, Nellie's playing ball. Sorry, just bear with me a second. So my spuds are under here, just sitting there nicely away. I've cleared off all my strawberries. That blackberry, thornless blackberry, I've not had any fruit off yet, so I'm gonna wait and see what happens with that. I came up the other day and I tried to make myself a cup of tea, and the little kettle, the little burner thing, I don't know if you can see it in there, the little burner, the gas, a little full just won't work. So I had a little dabble at a rocket stove. It works. It's just a few blocks. Just sit your kettle on top, as you can see by the ring. It works. Just cut up little tiny bits of wood. So you can't come down to allotment and not have a cup of tea, can you? You can't not have a cup of tea. So, coming back to my beds, these 2 beds, my kale, I'm just picking and picking and picking. The Cavolo Nero, I butchered that one the other day. My Swedes, some successes, some a little. It's fine. This is my first batch of leeks that I put in. They're a bit weedy. I need to get in and weed round them. But same again, they were a bit late because there was things in here. But you can still get them in and get a good harvest. Me asparagus, that's going to go in there as a permanent bed next year when the leeks come out. So I've been growing them on in the pots. So whilst I had my leaf mould composting away in the bottom of here, I had courgettes on. Now the courgettes have come out and the compost that was in there was fine, but I didn't need it. So what I've done is, that there is all from probably about halfway up, is the compost that was in there that I grew my courgettes in on top of the leaf mould, potato compost and carrot compost. So it's all my spare compost. I've just mixed it all together and slung it in there for now, so when I need it I can just get it to top dress my beds. So that's ready to go compost that's been used, and you know, it's well used and it's fine. This is my compost bed from the beginning of the year. This is ready to use as a top dressing. Sorry, and this is the one I'm filling up. So I've just bought some coffee and some shredded paper there. So this is the one that I'm filling, that's been filled up and left. And I'm in 2 minds as to do what I did last year. Dig it all out and sling it back in with some manure and leave it another 6 months, because it made phenomenal compost. But I've got all of that lot, and I've still got about 18 buckets of spuds under there worth of compost. So I'm getting to a point, and with the manure and the leaf mould, I'm getting to a point where I've got enough compost that I don't have to buy in or don't have to bring any in. So it's taken me a couple of years to get myself to that level. But even with a little allotment, I mean, this allotment, to give you an idea, I mean, these are 12 foot, so 24, sort of, it's 30 foot wide by maybe 40 foot long. It's not a massive allotment, it really isn't. And I grow enough food in here for me, the wife, and the young one. She doesn't eat that many veg, doesn't my daughter, but you know. And I've got a shed, I've got my water storage, I've got 4 composting bins, be it leaf mould, compost or manure, and I've got a little pond. You know, I've got fruit, I've got little trees. You don't need to have massive beds to get a load of veg, and I've still got loads of veg in the freezer. So, you know, a 6 foot by 5 foot bed is worth of whatever veg you're growing should be plenty. The only exception is I do 2 or 3 beds worth of onions, because we get through a lot of onions. So make sure that you plan ahead, have things ready to go in. You know, if unlike parsnips where literally they take the whole year up near enough, they take the whole year, so, but onions, lettuces, you know, carrots, most stuff are a half season vegetable. Now, I didn't grow these winter brassicas from seed. I got them off of eBay, and they were sort of between 10 and 12 plants for a couple of quid. 3 or 4 quid including postage and packaging. Now, when you buy them, okay, you sort of, some people say, oh no, but you know, I can grow from seed, and you're spending money if you're going to pay, you know, 30 or 40 pence per plant, and then you've got to grow it. The thing is, I'd rather spend 30, 40, 50 pence on a plant, small, sturdy, at the right time, because all I did, I potted them on. I've had them about a month. I potted them on in some little plastic cups, and I just sat them on the floor in the greenhouse next to tomatoes with the door wide open, just to get a good root ball. And then a couple of weeks ago, about a week ago, I put them in, and I've planted them in. So, you know, I've got 5 kale plants there for about £2.70, £2.80, because I gave the others away. You know, I've been able to give the other plants away, but I just didn't have the time or the space, or this year, that, you know, to be growing loads of different vegetables for winter. There's nothing wrong with buying plug plants. I mean, these were actually bare rooted plants, and when they come, they were small, but they're lovely and strong. You know, lovely strong plants, all of them, and they're not too big, so they'll sit there over winter, growing the roots, and then in the spring they'll kick off, and I'll get some lovely spring veg. So there you go, folks. Just a little update, a little bit about how I optimise my little allotment. Like I say, it is only small, but I get a lot of stuff out of it. So it's bye-bye from me, and it's bye-bye from the mad dog, who will just play with that ball all day long. Thank you very much for supporting me and subscribing and following me. I really do appreciate it. I know my videos aren't fantastic. I know I'm not highly technical, and I have got a series of videos for that pond. I'm just trying to get somebody at work who does media and all that lot to help me put them together into one video, because I'd like to show the evolution of that little pond. I'm really pleased with it, and I've got frogs in, so I'm really happy. Right, just a shame about all the crap that's getting dumped down here, but never mind, it'll sort itself out. Right, folks, thank you very much, and please subscribe, please comment. Any questions? I'm not an expert, but I'll do my best on how I do it down here. Bye bye for now.